Hi, my name is Abby Waters, and today I will be giving my final presentation over the correlation between eating disorders and Instagram. Specifically, I'll focus on the correlation in young girls and women. This can happen. Obviously, there is a correlation in young men. However, this will just focus on women. It begins at a young age and will continue throughout their life as they get more mature and are exposed to more platforms. But it begins with Barbies and Bratz dolls and children models that promote this idea that you should be thin, and thinness equates to beauty, and you'll only be seen as valuable if you're thin, and you'll only be loved if you're thin. And research and literature provides evidence that exposure to this thin ideal is directly proportional to an increase in negative body evaluation. So it's unfortunate that this begins at such a young age. It's important to study this topic because it's good to be aware for ourselves and for our peers and the world that we live in as we get into this season of our lives where we're going to be having kids soon, and how we want our daughters to live their lives and the material they consume. In addition, eating disorders carry the highest mortality rate of any mental disorder, so it's very important that we are educated on this topic. The goal of this assessment is to use cultivation theory to guide the analysis, as cultivation theory suggests that exposure to media over time cultivates the viewer's internalized perception of reality. Cultivation theory is seen throughout a lot of literature reviews and studies and research done in this topic. So society perceives eating disorders as self-imposed. So it's likely to happen in private behind closed doors because there's this stigma attached to it that says you can get over it by yourself. And so people look to the media for comfort, and that eventually cultivates their internalized perception of their own reality. These are some examples of content found on Instagram that promote this skinny perfection and satisfaction. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels is a quote seen here. And then also, if you do these 40 jumping jacks, you'll get that perfect thigh gap, which is just chasing the thin ideal. So in this review, we analyze pro-ana, which is pro-anorexia, and pro-mia, which is pro-bulimia content. This content can be found through websites and Instagrams and different accounts on different social media platforms. This content is trying to be censored through different social media monitors, but not everything can be censored, as there are private accounts and code language and different things to try and get around those monitors. So a research question may be, why would an individual with an eating disorder want to view this content? And different literature and research can address that. One study, though, proved that viewing these pro-ana accounts intensified negative psychological symptoms over individuals that viewed neutral accounts in the control group. So it just goes to show that these accounts promote a negative body dissatisfaction result. So these are some examples of pro-ana and pro-mia content found on Instagram. Quotes like, hungry to bed, hungry to rise makes a girl a smaller size. Starve, Anna said, and so she did. You're seeing a thin girl. And then also, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So just like sitting in this circulation of the thin ideal, all of these women are obviously thin, seen here. So the analysis, more research has been done that proves exposure to the thin ideal in any capacity, Instagram or other platforms, leads to greater body dissatisfaction and the desire to lose weight. There are also evidence of healthy eating communities on Instagram that have a high prevalence of anorexia and orthorexia symptoms. They may strive to promote good, however, they're causing more harm than good. Influencers and their content, if you follow a very thin influencer and she posts of what I eat in a day and it's not very much food at all, you'll be negatively inspired to also not eat that much in a day to look like her. Same with Fitspiration. It's supposed to be used as a balance for fitness and healthy eating, but a lot of the posts associated with the hashtag are thin girls, and it does not promote a healthy lifestyle. It just promotes a thin ideal. So healthy eating trends can also lead to more body dissatisfaction. This statistic over here says that 87% of women and 65% of men compare their bodies to images they consume on social media. So just showing the intense effects that social media and Instagram can have on disordered eating and internalized perceptions of reality. So in conclusion, it is obviously an evident theme that eating disorders can be very isolating and cause severe loneliness. And so they might, individuals with disordered eating patterns might reach out to the internet and social media accounts for comfort and community. In that case, if one has disordered eating, is suffering from it, goes to recovery and rehabilitation centers, they're surrounded by community and they're understood and they feel loved and cared for there. They come back home, they might not be understood, their parents might not understand, there's no community, therefore they may relapse. And so it's important for society, and parents need to work hard to identify and prevent the development of eating disorders. They need to be able to understand and provide community, provide a place where these people with these disordered eating tendencies feel loved and cared for and beautiful, and not like they have to chase this ideal to have power and a place in the world. And so the time users spend on Instagram is closely tied with the growth and severity of eating disorders, is a conclusion found through literature and research. And in conclusion, while social media is profound and quite innovative and has changed the world, honestly, the messages being dispersed across all platforms, especially Instagram, can be very toxic. And so it's important to prevent the spread and obsession with society's view of the thin ideal and these idealized physical appearances. And future research can and should be done upon the current research to do just that. So thank you guys for joining, and I hope you have a great summer